Hello Wolfpack, Bitcoin is on the edge of making a decision either to the upside or to the downside, and we're going to get into it very quickly in this video so you guys don't waste any time here, because I know the market is moving relatively quickly. And the fact of the matter is, right now Bitcoin has been rejected from the descending wedge formation, right? It's rejected from the top side, and we've actually dropped down to the 40k region after a lengthy wick to the upside. And by lengthy I mean in terms of price, not in terms of time. This lasted only about 8 hours. We've jumped up just in the last 12 hours here, jumped up from the 42k region all the way up to around 43.5k, breaking highs we haven't seen in about 4 days, and we broke out of this descending channel formation, which was great to see after seeing a bounce off of the ascending channel. And now that was a fake out, right? And due to some stuff that's been going on in global events and also natural price action, we have jumped all the way down. The stock market is taking a hit as well, and that's a big reason. But we've dropped all the way down past both the ascending channel and the descending channel and the ascending channel. We've actually dropped down to the 40k region once again, and right now Bitcoin is currently trading for 40,800 USD, and so that's not a good sign, obviously. And you don't want to be seeing something like that happening, dropping below two of these formations that's been supporting us in this region since January the 6th. And yes, you could say that we're still holding the 40k region for support, and that is very much correct. However, we've lost the two structures that have been giving us the support. And so now we are in a significantly more risky position, and we have to be taking extra caution as traders and investors, because now Bitcoin has lost two structures that was giving it a massive amount of support. But we still obviously do have that major support zone at 40k, which is shown by the volume profile and from historical price action constantly rebounding off of that area, right? And that's actually 43k to 40k. However, we're at the bottom of that support zone now, so we're testing 40k currently, and what we can see on the daily chart is something very interesting. Right, we saw about 7 to 8 days of rejection from the top side of this descending channel formation, descending wedge formation, and now we've actually seen that long wick to the upside. That was just a massive fake out, right? And people like to do that. Market makers like to do that, and that's why I've told you endlessly on this channel, wait for confirmations, wait for daily closes, because if you don't, you're going to get flushed out. When the market is in such a pivotal position, right, where if it goes to the downside, literally 3,000 USD, that's like a confirmed drop to 30k. If it goes to the upside, 3,000 USD, that's a confirmed pump to like 53 to 48k, right? That is a pivotal position. And when markets are in pivotal positions like this, the manipulators, the institutional money, like to flush people out and basically harvest free cash, right? That's just what happens. And that's why I said, we need to be waiting for those daily closes. And for those of you who didn't wait, I highly recommend you do that on the next time, because we've seen this twice now. This is not the first time, right? We saw this back here in December 27th. I said the exact same thing about a month ago. We wicked upwards from around 51k all the way to 52k or 52.5k, and that was easily flushed out. Same thing happened here in this big drop, right? We wicked downwards from 47k all the way to 42k and came right back up. The wicks mean nothing. We're waiting for daily closes. We're in a longer term pattern, right? This pattern's been forming since October, the middle of October, and so we need to be waiting for longer term breakouts, and that's going to come in the form of daily closes. We haven't seen that yet, and right now we've actually come right down on the daily close after a long upside wick and a long candle body to the downside, and we've touched 40k, and we closed the daily candle at around 40.6k off the top of my memory. Now, this isn't the worst daily close. It looks terrible. It's very bearish. However, we've still maintained the support zone, which is great. What we can see is the volume increasing in this short downwards trend, which is not a good sign at all. That suggests that instead of there being dwindling amount of sellers coming into support, there's actually an increasing amount of sellers coming into support. And so that is an indication. That's the first time we've seen this, by the way. That is an indication that, hey, this support zone is becoming weaker and weaker now. Less people are willing to buy the support zone. Less people are willing to buy because they're not very confident we're going to see a bounce from the support zone. They're losing confidence. And so in order for Bitcoin to have bullish momentum here, it needs to be seeing some upwards momentum fast. I'm talking literally the next 2 days. As you can see, this wedge is going to push us out of this support zone naturally on the 24th of January, right? So in the next 3 days, we're going to have the last possible breakout attempt on Bitcoin out of the wedge. If we can't break out of the wedge and maintain above 40k in the next 3 days, Bitcoin is going to be naturally pushed to the downside because the wedge is not giving us any more room to move. And it's very clear that this wedge isn't going to be invalidated. We're not just going to keep consolidating past this wedge, right? This wedge has been tested countless times. 1, 2, 3, well, I guess you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times to the downside, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times to the upside, right? So this is a very, very, very set in stone formation here, this descending wedge formation. And for us to just continue, just like nothing's ever happening and just keep going sideways, it's not going to happen, right? So we have 3 days, and that's definite, to break out to the upside. If we can't do that, we're going below 40k. And if we go below 40k, it's not looking very good for Bitcoin. It looks like 30k will be the next target on a longer term scale. So, desperate times really do call for desperate measures here on Bitcoin, and that saying is being proven true here. I want to go to the hourly chart quite quickly right now here, and I want to see some of the more bullish things on Bitcoin. Excuse me. So what we're seeing is that throughout this entirety of this downside kind of consolidation in the 40k region, which has been going on for about 3 weeks now, Bitcoin has actually continued to maintain closes on the hourly chart above 40.6k. And I'm going to draw a clean line here at 40.6k and show you that every single hourly close we've seen is above that region, and we've just seen another hourly close above that region. So that is the major support zone here, 40.6k on Bitcoin. As soon as we start seeing hourly closes below that region, you can be sure that, hey, that's probably going to lead to a drop below 40k, because 40k itself isn't the strong region. 40.6k to 42.5k is the very strong region for support, and closing below that, and we could be seeing that in the next day potentially, depending on what happens here, is going to be very bearish on Bitcoin. What I would expect first, though, if we are going to do that, that's speculation at this point, but if we are going to do that, what I would expect first is a jump back up and a retest of this breakout spot on the channel, and then a swing back down to the downside and a break below. Look, this video isn't to say whether I think we're going to break up or down. It's to tell you this, and this is very, very clear. We have 3 days on Bitcoin, okay? If we cannot break to the upside within 3 days out of this wedge and close above it, we are going to below 40k, and that is the facts of the situation, objectively correct facts of the situation. We are going below 40k if we cannot break out to the upside within 3 days, okay? I'm not going to make any predictions. What's the point? You already know my prediction. For those of you who don't know, it's the first time watching this video, my long-term prediction is Bitcoin's in a bear market, right? I don't feel the need to expand on that at the moment. What I will say is that after this rejection, it's significantly more likely that we'll move to the downside, right? Than move to the upside. I'd say an upside move here is unlikely now, but I don't want to make any too concerning predictions. I don't want anyone to quote me on that. What I want you to quote me on, and what I have been encouraging you to quote me on at this point, since like 60k, is the fact that I think Bitcoin is trending downwards to the 200-week SMA, and I think it's going to get there, according to my calculations, in November. However, the time frame is very flexible. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm off by a period of months. The prediction is this: I think we're going to the 200-week SMA. That's all the clarity I can give you, right? We've dropped below the 50, we've dropped below the bull market support band, we've dropped below basically every single thing on the daily chart. The only thing that's kind of holding us up right now is the Gaussian channel on the weekly chart, and also the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. Other than that, everything looks bearish. We have one more bullish thing I can probably look at right now, which is the 3-day chart, and I'm actually unsure as to whether it's broken or not. It could have been broken on this downwards trend. Let's see. We have an uptrending level of support on the RSI that has been going on since 2018, and we'll draw this in right now, and I want to see if this is broken or not. I don't think so yet. Let's draw this in right here, and we can see this uptrending line is still holding for support by the I mean, I don't know how this one's holding for support, but it still is. It's been holding for support for almost over 3 years now, and so look, we can see right now that the correlation in the 40.6k region is actually very strong. As we test that 40.6k support that I've been talking about here, we haven't seen an hourly close below that. We're testing that 3-day RSI uptrend line, and so to some people, it could be said that this doesn't look as bad. This isn't as bad as it looks, and I would support that theory. I'd say that there still is an opportunity for Bitcoin to bounce here to the upside. But what I would say objectively, and this is the objective facts of the situation, we have 3 days. 3 days. We'll be keeping an eye on it, and we're definitely on a knife's edge. I wouldn't recommend buying in this region. It's way too risky. If we drop below, it's going to be a very, very fast crash in my opinion. And if we rise above, it could be another fake out. Just wait for daily candles. Every day I'm going to make an update on the situation and keep you all in check. However, that said, I don't want you to rely entirely on my opinion because I could be wrong, right? I'm just one person. You need to make your own decisions. If you can't make your own decisions, if you don't have the knowledge to make your own decisions, you probably shouldn't be trading the market. Regardless, with that said, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.